and welcome to a new video. If this is your first time seeing one of my videos, hi, I'm Melinda. I'm a mother of 2 autistic boys, and I'm also a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. And on my channel, I like to focus on everything dealing with low support needs autism. A lot of times when people think about autism, they often think about the deficits or the things that autistic people struggle to deal with. But in today's video, I wanted to switch it around and focus on some of the positive attributes or the strengths of actually being autistic. Because I have autistic children, I'm going to be focusing more on things from the perspective of children. But a lot of these things and these positive attributes are also very applicable to autistic adults. If this sounds like something of interest to you, then please just continue to watch this video. And also make sure to share with somebody you feel like might benefit from the content. Also, if you're not already subscribed, where aren't you? Go ahead and subscribe to my channel and make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. One positive attribute or strength about autistic people is that they tend to be extremely honest and they don't tend to have any underlying motives going on or trying to manipulate a situation in a certain way. Especially when we're dealing with autistic kids or younger people, they tend to have more concrete thought processes, or they tend to take things quite literally. And so since a lot of times they're not thinking in terms of socially how they're being perceived or certain social norms that everybody else tends to know, when they're asked a question, they think you literally just want them to answer. So that's the answer you're going to get. If you ask them something, you're going to get it. Whether it's something from what you think about what they're wearing, maybe if they like a certain activity or food, if it's something you want them to do. If they're invited up to somebody's house to play with a friend, they're not going to feel like they have to say yes if they don't want to go. If they don't want to go, they're just going to say no. Speaking of emotions, because they're still also working on learning to identify their own emotions, they're not going to overread into somebody else's emotions or thinking that something else is happening that is not. And so for this reason, they're not going to try to emotionally manipulate somebody or do something to get a response for someone. You don't have to feel like they're going to take advantage of you. This is a wonderful thing if you have a friendship with an autistic person, because you know that if they're your friend and they tell you they're your friend, then that's honestly how they view you. There's no hidden agenda to it, that they really enjoy your company. And especially if you're dating an autistic person, you don't have to worry about them trying to manipulate you in some way in a situation or get you to do something because that's how they want it done. You just ask them, they'll simply tell you. So it's very refreshing because you don't have to worry about hidden agendas, you don't have to worry about other things, and you're going to get an honest response if you ask a question the majority of the time. Another great strength or positive attribute of autistic people is that they tend to have great memories. With autistic people, a lot of times they tend to have amazing declarative memory. And declarative memory is a type of memory that helps you to remember facts or recall events that happened. So for this reason, with autistic people, they tend to be great at, say, remembering somebody's birthday or how to get to a certain location, or maybe if a significant event occurred, they're really great at recalling what happened at that event. I've seen this play out in my boys numerous times. Andrew, if he's been somewhere, when you start driving, just by certain turns you take, he can already tell where we're going to go. He'll be like, oh, we're heading to go see Dr. Jacobs today. And he knows just by a couple turns in the road, he's been there so many times, he's able to recall that and know exactly where we're going. Also, both of my boys are really great at recalling birthdays. If you ask them, hey, when is Granny's birthday? They can tell you, they can spit it out. So they're really great at remembering those facts. And the great thing about this and them having those memories is a lot of times that declarative memory is what also they use to be able to learn things like about social norms, or be able to learn things to help them to be able to understand and regulate their emotions and be able to process through that. So that great memory that they have helps them not only in recalling information, but also in helping them better to be able to navigate in the world that they live in. Another positive attribute about autistic people is that they tend to be extremely reliable. Autistic people, especially younger kids, do very well with a fixed and rigid routine. They like to have things the same way every single day. And by being able to predict what's going to happen every day because it's done the same way, it helps to reduce their stress and reduce their anxiety, and they're better able to function in the world. And so a good thing about this is if there's a certain time of day, for example, that the child always gets to school, then you can count on them to be there the same time every day, because that is the time that they're used to. That is part of their regular schedule. And by maintaining and getting there at that time, it helps them to feel like, okay, I can manage my day. I know what's coming next. Similarly, if an autistic person works a job, you know they're going to come into work every day because that is part of their regular routine to show up to work. And so it would actually cause them more stress to not show up out of nowhere than to get there, because that is what is expected and they know somebody's depending on them to be there. Another positive attribute of autistic people is they don't tend to conform to social norms and they are comfortable in their own skin. Especially when it comes to kids, yes, they enjoy having socialization to a point, but they're also perfectly fine being by themselves. So say, for example, there's a game that they want to play, but other kids don't want to play it, fine. They're still going to go play and do what they want to do. Also, when it comes to wearing certain things or having to do a certain thing to fit in with others, they don't worry about that. If it's not something they want to do or something that they don't want to wear, they're not going to wear it. And so they tend to, again, be more comfortable being themselves, doing themselves, having their own interests, regardless of what other people think about them. Partially because they don't always understand the social norms, it makes them impervious to the other exterior judgment. They don't have to worry about what's this person thinking, what's this person doing. All they care about is, that's what I like. So I like this, I'm going to do this. I want to wear this, I'm going to wear it. Other people don't want to do it with me, I'll do it by myself. And that's just a huge, refreshing way to be. And another positive and amazing strength about autistic people is that they tend to be non-judgmental. The great thing about them is if they're your friend, they're your friend. They don't care what other people think about it. So this is where they view people as the individual and get to know you as a person, as opposed to liking you or wanting to be around you based off of maybe the socioeconomic class you came from, or because you have a certain type of family, or because you dress a certain type of way. These are not even factors that they consider. All they consider is, do I like this person? Do I want to be their friend? Another great thing about them is they don't tend to see disability, and they get to know people and they're more accepting of people and how they are. And so again, if somebody, a lot of times they don't even notice that a disability exists, because all they notice is, hey, I have similar interests with this person, I like this person, let's hang out and be friends. And so they don't tend to have the judgment that a lot of society has about other people, and they give people a chance to be themselves and meet them where they are to decide whether this is a friendship they want to continue with versus trying to already have preconceived ideas about that person. I know my boys, my autistic boys, they have a couple of friends that have some physical disabilities, but the boys don't even see that. In their minds, those friends can do the same things they can do. And so again, they don't even, all they see is that this is somebody that I enjoy spending time with, this is somebody that I enjoy hanging out with, and that's all that they notice. They give that person a chance to be their authentic selves the same way that they're authentically them around him. Alright guys, that's all that I have for today's video. I hope you gained some new insight. I do plan on doing a part 2 to this video because there are so many wonderful positive things about autistic people that I'd love to continue sharing. I just don't want to make this video too long. So comment down below, what's a positive thing that you've noticed in an autistic person that you know, or if you're autistic, what is something that's a superpower of yours, if you will, because that's what I call it, your superpower. Guys, make sure to come back next week, or actually later this week on Sundays. I put out new videos every Sunday. And if you're not already subscribed, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.